in this moment at number 10. He's a quarterback, one of three.
Yeah. We got three quarterbacks
in the top 10? We got three quarterbacks in the top 10.
Wow.
This guy's a quarterback. He started for 3 years, 2000 through 2002. That should give it away right there.
Yeah.
He wore number 13. He is the master of the triple option. His name is Joel Armstrong.
The GOAT.
The GOAT of the triple option.
I will always refer to him as the GOAT. No matter what happens, we've had amazing quarterbacks come after him, before him also.
Yeah.
But he's definitely my GOAT. You know, he's my LeBron James.
I feel you.
Because he came up at a time where football was starting to become, you know, a real important part of my life.
Right.
And to watch him and the way he played, I just fell in love with the way the man played football. And I was always a big fan. I remember when he went to Rice. I remember watching the game, and he was playing quarterback, and he ran a triple option, and he got loose, and you know, he scored a touchdown. I was so damn proud. I was telling everybody, like, hey, that's Joel Armstrong from Longview.
Yeah.
So, man, Joel, man, I could talk for days about Joel Armstrong. I know you young, but I'm pretty sure you remember 2002.
Yeah, 2002 was my first real season of Lobo football.
Yeah.
And so watching 13 be as dominant as he was, and the thing is about him, when you go and you look at his skill set, he's really just a prisoner of the age that he grew up in. Yeah. Because honestly, he's just as good as Aaron Johnson is to me. Like, if you watch them play, there are a lot of similarities, a lot of things that he does really well and Aaron Johnson does really well. There's a lot of things that he does, I think, maybe even be a little bit better than watching Aaron Johnson play. I think Joel was a better passer than what he was given credit for. 26 throwing touchdowns in 3 seasons, 24 rushing touchdowns, 50 total touchdowns.
In a time
throughout a career,
throwing the ball wasn't one of those things that happened a lot, especially in Longview. Longview is known for smash mouth, run the ball down your throat football.
And while we're comparing Joel Armstrong and Aaron Johnson, I think he did have better throwing targets too.
Facts.
Take Casey.
Young Malcolm Kelly.
His senior year. Rogers Taylor, who was a fantastic receiver. And then, of course, but I mean, honestly, when you watch Joel Armstrong play, one of the things that stand out to me is just how he can just absolutely reverse field out of nowhere.
Yeah. And
then go get busy. You know what I mean? He'll run the triple option, or he'll run the speed option to the right. And something that you'll see Aaron Johnson do on this highlight too.
Right.
Get to the end of the line, there's nothing there. Duck back into the offensive line and escape out the left side and go for 40 and go score a touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong putting Joel Armstrong anywhere in this top 10.
No.
But he's got to be mentioned in your top 10.
Oh, most definitely.
And I know he didn't have the career that a Trent Williams did post high school.
Yeah.
Or Chris Ivory did post high school. And this is, a lot of people might be wondering how those two professionals, ended up outside of the top 10. But they just didn't have the impact the guy Joel Armstrong did.
Oh, most
and like the name and the impact and the impact that was on the city. Like, people remember Joel Armstrong playing. Like, and the thing is, like, a lot of people might say he wasn't a good quarterback, but he went to Rice and he actually played quarterback at Rice.
Right.
Like, he didn't just go over there and just simply play receiver the entire time.
But who said Joel Armstrong wasn't a good quarterback?
No, I mean, like, as far as throwing. Like, if we're comparing, like, we're in the top 10, so it's finna get nitty gritty. So when we start comparing guys, they're gonna say maybe he didn't have the throwing touch or throwing this or throwing that. But I don't think that's the case with Joel at all. Joel went to Rice, and if he's 6'2", he's a starting quarterback there all 4 years.
Yeah.
I think he was just a little on the shorter side, and so I think they're trying to make him a slot receiver, which he was athletic enough to do that as well.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
we honestly, can talk forever about Joel
You really
Armstrong,
can. You really can talk about forever for Joel Armstrong. He is one of those guys that will forever be remembered. And the thing is about Joel, he got it out the mud, bro.
Facts.
Like,
let's talk about 2000.
2000, 3-7. His sophomore year.
Let's talk about 2001.
First year with a new coach.
Yeah.
Pat Collins is the coach for the first time. The Louisiana era starts here in Longview.
Yeah.
With Pat Collins and John King and all the guys coming over in 2000. And they sucked in 2000. 3-7.
Terrible. Disgusting.
But to have the fortitude and to have the will to continue to keep playing and continue to try to get better, you go from that to 7-5 in 2001.
Yeah.
One playoff win. Trying to build something,
Lost
and then you get to where we are in 2002. In 2002, one of the best teams, top 3 teams, top 5 teams in school history to me.
Ah, hell yeah.
What happened in 2002 and the leadership that Joel Armstrong showed that year, making plays game in and game out. The last game of the year. Game of the year
where Lufkin game.
Where he was leading this ferocious comeback, making play after play. The touchdown that he throws to take Casey in the back of the end zone. Falling down after scrambling, getting out of all kinds of trouble, and then happening to put one in the money to his big tight end in the end zone. And is that the one that tied the game?
I think so. It might be.
I think that's the touchdown that ties the game going in that fourth quarter.
Joel did it all.
Or in the second half, anyway. He is
the pass to Rodgers. He ran one in.
Exactly. He broke several times in that game. And the thing is, and I think that's part of the dark cloud that is around Longview is losing to Lufkin so many years over and over and over, and how many games over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only black guy on his career is that he couldn't get a win over Lufkin.
Yeah. And a very, very talented Lufkin team. Let's not forget that. Jaworski Lane as a sophomore.
Right. Terrence Park as a quarterback.
A very, very talented Lufkin team. And
a team that just came off the state championship.
And that's one of them losses that it hurts so bad because it's like we was that close.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like you said, back then beating Lufkin was hard.
It wouldn't happen.
Really, really hard. So of course that game to get that close, and I mean just thinking about the game, bro. I get chills when I think about it because of the performance that they all put on, but more so than anybody, the performance that Joel put on.
Right.
Just him, like you said, breaking big runs, scrambling, almost falling on his face, keeping his balance, finding this big tight end in the back of the end zone. It's all that, man. But like I said, I could talk for days about Joel Armstrong. I will always regard him as my GOAT. Joel Armstrong is my GOAT. And I know there's a lot of people that's gonna wonder why Joel isn't number one, and I understand them. I honestly do.
That's a stretch.
No,
that is a major.
Trust me. Just listen to me. Trust me. I've heard it already. Of people, even if he's not number one, people is still regarding him as top 3. But I understand it though.
I don't. I think you lived under a rock after 2002 if you think he's the best player to come through school history. But I think, well, I'm not even going to get into that. We'll find out who the number one player is on this episode. But, Joel Armstrong had a hell of a game, had a hell of a career. And in regards as the 10th best player in school in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And a program that's put plenty of pros and plenty of college D1 athletes and all this stuff. Joel Armstrong's going to land right there at number 10. We still got highlights playing on this guy.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, that's one of the ones that's definitely got to be on there because
he got busy.
Got busy on that one, no doubt. Well, I guess we'll just have to cut something out.
Yeah.
But that's it for Joel Armstrong coming in there at number 10. At number 9, this is going to cause a little havoc in the streets.
Okay.
Number 9, you got a 3-year starter, a 3-year all-district guy,
okay.
a 3-year all-East